I am the president and founder of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a lender who specializes in really different products, alternative income documentation products, and specialty products for investors, as well as your regular conventional products as well. So today, we'd like to take an opportunity to just kind of go through the rates for today and do a couple little examples. And the special program I want to talk about today that we'll go over here in a minute, go ahead and pop it on the screen here. We do have a special 5 to 8 units and mixed use program. So these are for investors that want to get a commercial DSCR mortgage for a small commercial property. That would be 2 to 8 units mixed use with a little bit of commercial. Typically the commercial has to be less than the residential portion, and also 5 to 8 units residential. So typically anything over 4 units is considered a commercial property. So as long as it's between the 5 to 8, we have some great programs that we can quote instantly. These programs do go up to 75% for LTV for purchase and cash out as well. Of course, they're DSCR, so no income or employment. There is interest only available on these. Typically, we do the 30-year fixed DSCR. These are always closed in an LLC or entity because these are business purpose loans, and they start at 660 credit. So this is the program that we'll go over here in a minute. This is a program that we love to quote here at the Mortgage Calculator with our team. So if you're interested in this, please get with one of our licensed loan officers, and they can go over all the details. And I'll also show a little example here in a minute. So let me move on to the next portion here, and we'll go over the rates for today on some of our regular programs. So let me switch that up over here. And you'll see this is a quick pricer that we've built, so we can go over these programs with you guys here in detail. Again, if you want to get more information and a fully custom quote based on your specific scenario, please get with one of our loan officers. But this will be an example scenario where we can just check out the rates today for a conforming 80 LTV purchase for a standard 30-year fixed loan, for primary occupancy for a regular single family, and for our state, for our example purposes, Florida, Miami-Dade, that's where we are based. And for example purposes, we're just going to stick with the 760 FICO, a 40 estimated DTI, and of course, United States citizen. So our tool will pull up our live rates today. So let's go ahead and check it out. Of course, as you see, it is live, so we do have to verify that we're a real person. And here are some of our conventional programs. Of course, this is a home ready program, which is a specialty program. Sometimes not everybody can qualify for that, but they are great programs. Same with our Freddie Mac Home Possible program. But let's scroll down to our standard 30-year conventional. And it looks like right here is the first one that's a pretty standard program. So our par rate or no cost rate is going to be around 6.875 this morning. Hopefully, obviously, the rates are going down slowly over time. As we all know, markets have been volatile lately, but hopefully we see these go down. So we'll check out some other scenarios as well here. So our other popular purchase program, just so we can pull it up real quick and compare for FHA, which we have to lower the loan amount a little. There are limits on that. But if we change our loan type to FHA for a primary purchase, we'll keep everything else the same. And we'll go ahead and check out what FHA is being offered from our partners today. So obviously a lower rate, 6.125, with a slight cost here of a small amount of discount points. But our system here obviously looks for the best rate and cost combination. So this is the closest to no cost and best option that we have available just this morning, basically after everybody's just announced their rates for this morning, all our banks and partners. So those are all our pretty standard programs. If you want to get with our loan officer, if you qualify for VA or USDA, please get with one of them to go over that. But today, and what we really specialize in, I want to focus on our alternative options under expanded guidelines. So anytime a customer doesn't fit within the conventional programs or even the FHA programs, which expand a little bit upon the conventional, we have expanded guidelines, aka non-QM. These are non-conforming loans that our partners, our banks, our investors can offer to customers who may not qualify via traditional means. So what do we mean by that? First off, let's set this to an 80 LTV purchase like we've been going through. Still going to be primary, still going to be single family, same place, still going to be same FICO, same debt to income, but instead of using tax returns and regular documentation, we can switch this to what the most popular option is a bank statement option. So those that are self-employed, who maybe don't have their tax returns in order, but do have great bank statements, we can determine a debt to income ratio from 12 months of bank statements. Of course, to do this, they will need to be self-employed. So we have a lot of realtor partners, loan officers, people that are in the gig economy, Uber type drivers, right, that are self-employed and need to use their bank statements to show great qualifications. So we have a ton of programs for this. So we'll click in and just see what some options are this morning from our non-QM partners. So you see here, every program is a little bit different. And obviously these programs are a little bit more expensive. So you see here we have an 8% rate, but there's a high cost here. So I probably wouldn't recommend this to my client if we were looking at this. However, here's some great options. Every program is a little bit different. So again, get with a loan officer. So for a small amount of discount points, we do have an 8.125% rate available if someone wanted to qualify with alternative income documentation, in this example with bank statements. And there's a couple other options here. Look at 8.75% from one of our banks, offering at a par rate, no cost rate. So that's a great option as well. Again, if you get with our loan officers, they can navigate you through all these different programs. And you can see we have a plethora of bank statement partners and programs that we can fit in, all the way from rates in the 7s all the way up to the 10s. If for some reason, perhaps these special programs, maybe if you have a credit event, you need to use bank statements and you have a foreclosure on your record, which also may throw you out of qualification for a standard conforming program. So we love these non-QM programs, just a plethora that we have available, and they allow us to qualify borrowers who may not or may need to use alternative methods to qualify. Now let's go back to the pricer here again, and let's check out investment properties. So we work with a lot of investors here at the Mortgage Calculator, and we want to go through an example here of a conforming purchase, 30-year fixed, everything else the same here, for an investment property. So for investors out there that want to use the standard conforming programs, there is no prepayment penalty on a standard conforming program. There will be on the non-QM options we'll go over. But for this example here, we'll keep everything else the same and see what it costs an investor to purchase with the standard conforming programs today. So you see here is our FNMA, stands for Fannie Mae. So this is what everybody's pretty used to, Fannie Mae. This one's Freddie Mac, FHLMC stands for Freddie Mac. So these are our base programs. You can see similar rates to what you saw conventional, but obviously the cost is substantial. So we would probably not pick this. We'd probably go a little bit higher to lower the discount points, obviously. But these are what the computer is printing out right now because Fannie Mae has a large price adjustment for investment properties. So there is a large price there. So if we scroll down here, we'll find some more reasonable options at lower discount points with higher rates. But these are what conventional is offering right about now from our banks and partners. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of them, but they're all around the 7 to 8% range with some discount points. Now, the markets are a little bit volatile, so obviously these are not what everybody would like to see. What's great about our non-QM options, so if we slide over here and try an investment purchase, let's go 80, with our expanded guidelines. So these are great options for investors that need to use alternative income documentation or even no income documentation at all, which we'll talk about in a second. So our most popular program for investors, again, is usually the bank statement program. So if you want to qualify with income, typically bank statements a very popular option. And we typically do a prepayment penalty on an investment property when we're doing a non-QM quote. So we'll simply set a 3-year prepayment just to get some quotes here, and everything else will stay the same as all our other examples. Oops. And I didn't follow my own directions and click self-employed. So let me not forget that this time. 3 years, investment, and expanded, and bank statements. Sorry about that. And here we go. So here are the alternative documentation options for an investment property. So our rates are around 8 to 9, it looks like, for an investment property with relatively no cost. So these non-QM rates are a little bit higher, but obviously less cost because they're able to go higher on the rates and use different documentation. So again, we have a plethora of programs all the way that vary in different fashions. But let's check out our no income, our most popular program here. So for investors looking to purchase short-term rentals or any kind of investment property. A lot of investors looking at multi-units and whatnot. Let's check out our non-QM expanded guideline options for DSCR. So DSCR is the most popular program for our investors, most popular program that we do here at the Mortgage Calculator, which just uses the income from the property. So no employment and no personal income verification from the investor. And we will also do a 3-year prepay here. And this will be our no income, no employment program to purchase rental properties. So you see the rates are just about the same, right around the 8s to 9 with relatively no cost. So DSCR is our favorite option, and we have a ton of partners here, vary between 9, 10, 11. These are obviously specialty programs, but we have a ton of partners and banks that we work with since we specialize in DSCR, and you see all the different options that we have here. Now, there is another option that I want to go over today, which has a little bit of a different twist, which we talked about earlier, which is our DSCR program for 2 to 8 unit properties that are mixed use, which may have 1 commercial unit, 2 commercial units, 3 commercial units even, and residential portion. So typically, a first floor with commercial, second story with residential. Very popular request for us, as well as this program fits for 5 to 8 unit properties, typically considered a commercial property. So it takes a little bit of customization, so I can't do it on the quick quoter here, but our loan officers can do it in our back end, which I set up earlier. So I'll go ahead and share my tab here with our mixed use 5+ unit quote with a 5-year prepayment penalty at 75 LTV. So as I mentioned earlier, that was the ad that I shared at the start of the show today. This is a specialty program that we offer, which is great for our investors that are looking for that little niche product. And of course, it's DSCR, so no personal income, no personal employment needed, and it's a great option. So this does require a 5-year prepayment penalty. Notice I put here in the notes here, this is a quote that I would send to my customers, obviously, explaining a little bit about the prepayment penalty. I explained a little bit about the DSCR ratio. And then what I've done is pulled the live rates earlier this morning for this program. So we do have options to buy it down all the way to 8.875, and then obviously less points, less buy down to get a 9.75. So still great options, all within the 8s to 9s ratios there for a DSCR purchase for a 5+ unit property, which is awesome, or even a mixed use property, which is amazing. So remember, this is 75 LTV. So this example was this purchase price down payment. This is our cool little quote system that we send out to our investors and our borrowers. And of course, this was just the address, pulls in the little, Google map, little Google's estimate here, proposed loan breakdown, shows our monthly breakdown of payments. Since I put the property taxes, it pulled from our automatic integrations there with Zillow and stuff, and our estimated lender fees here as well. And of course, my face down here. So this is the same kind of quote that our loan officers can send you guys if you guys are interested in these alternative products. Check out the quote. If you're interested in starting, you can instantly start your loan application by clicking here and go all the way through the loan process. So that's a great example that we have of what we offer. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody here. Since it's the holidays, we're not going to go into super detail, but let me go ahead and turn off my example. And I'll bring in my partner Kyle here just to talk a little bit more about how to get with one of our loan officers to talk about these specialty programs we offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Nick. So it's just an amazing opportunity here. As you can see right now, the marketplace and the programs that we offer is just so amazing, so much more advanced than your traditional conventional FHA, VA, USDA. And the great thing is that, as Nick said earlier, we specialize in these special programs, right? So our loan officers can not only help out clients, with traditional loans, but we also specialize in making sure that our loan officers can be a consultant to help borrowers purchase these different types of products. And so obviously the bank statement products are amazing, as well as the DSCR, but the featured product that we went through today, the 5 to 8 unit mixed use, it's just such an amazing opportunity. So for those of you who are out there watching that are investors, or those of you who may be realtors or loan officers working with investors, this is something that not a lot of people have access to. It's something that not a lot of people are aware of that it exists. And it's something that can really give you an edge as an investor in the market, to where you're going to be able to finance what would typically not really be a traditionally financed, loan, right? A financed property where people would have to come in with all cash. And now you have the opportunity to leverage yourself, where you could buy multiple investment properties instead of putting cash down on one. Now that you're able to finance these type of properties, right? So it'll let your offers be stronger out there, right? Because you can pay, and you're not so worried about your little amount of cash stretching that far, because now you can actually leverage it and stretch it longer, with a fixed rate loan, right? It's absolutely amazing, without a balloon in a year, right? So for those of you experienced investors out there who know this, it's just an amazing opportunity. So definitely take advantage of that. And the way you can take advantage of that is to reach out to one of our loan officers. So we have over 345 loan officers all across the country, licensed in most states, and can do loans for you in most states. And so feel free to reach out to us. You can go to themortgagecalculator.com. You can actually use that public pricer that Nick went through. That's actually on our website, but you can also inquire on our website, submit your application, or you could send us an email at info@themortgagecalculator.com. Let us know what you're looking to do, where you're from, so we can connect you with a loan officer that's licensed in that state, and we can help you out with those programs. So info@themortgagecalculator.com if you want to shoot us over an email, or you can just go to themortgagecalculator.com, which is right there, and fill out the form, submit an application right online for the different type of programs that we have. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much. Definitely want to say happy holidays to everyone. And we will be at this again next week. We do this every day to show our live rates, to talk about our different programs and highlight some programs, just like we did today with the 5 to 8 mixed use. Did you want to say something, Nick?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great holiday weekend.